Hi, I am going to do what we eat in a week for dinner, just to show you some ideas on some good, healthy, and delicious dinners that maybe you could consider cooking for your family. I know I always enjoy seeing what other people are cooking, so I hope you enjoy this video. Tonight I am making beef kebabs, which will be the first time I'm doing so. But I wanted to show you the veggies that I cut up, and I have my beef cubed and marinating in the fridge right now. Okay, here's my kebabs before cooking. I'm going to grill them. There's zucchini, bell pepper, mushroom, onion, and then the steak that was marinated. And then over here I have some wild rice cooking. Looks like it needs a good stir. Might be done. So I'm gonna work on that. These are looking amazing. And now I'm just grilling some frozen naan and pita bread that I have for the side dish. Here's how my plate's looking. I have 2 kebabs. They do smell really good. I tried a piece of the meat and it tasted really good. I have some wild rice with brown rice and half of a naan bread. So bon appetit. It's Wednesday and I'm going to show you what we're having for dinner tonight. I marinated some thin sliced chicken breast. Marinating has become one of my new favorite skills that I've learned to really make the meat tender. I use it on chicken breast now for sandwiches, or if you just want to put it on salad. And then I also used it on the cubed steak for my skewers recently. So it's a great skill, adds flavor, but most importantly makes the meat nice and tender. So I'm going to make these along with a salad and some french fries. So here's my salad. I just put spring mix, cucumber slices, cherry tomatoes, halved radish, and then some dressing. Here's the grilled chicken. It's smelling really good. And I made extra, so we had leftovers for both my lunch and my husband's packed lunch while he goes to work tomorrow. And then some just plain sliced cucumbers for those who don't want salad. And then here's the baked french fries. So all is looking really good. We're gonna dig in. Here's my plate. I have my grilled chicken sandwich, a couple baked fries, and my salad. Okay, so tonight didn't go as planned. Tonight's all about survival. We had a great day visiting my parents. I'm very thankful for that. But we have to get to gymnastics for one of my kids in a few minutes. So I just took some Trader Joe frozen pizzas, put them in the oven. I have another one coming out soon, barbecue chicken. And I'm gonna have salad, and we'll call it a night after that. Always good to have these emergency meals in the freezer. I'm really thankful for them. But tomorrow I will plan on getting back to cooking. Alright, it's Friday night and I'm back to cooking. I have a roasted chicken I'm about to put in the oven. I prepped it a little bit fancier tonight. That's for one of my other upcoming video series. But you can roast a chicken any time of year. It is the middle of summer, but I love having all of that chicken meat to use for other recipes on the following days. I'm also going to be roasting sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. Yes, this sounds a little bit just like a Thanksgiving fall meal, but there's no rule saying that you can't have that in the middle of July or any other month for that matter. It's a meal I enjoy. I love the leftovers. It's healthy, so I'm gonna go ahead and get those started. Let me know in the comments below if there is a seasonal meal that you like to make all year, whether it's traditionally served in winter or summer. Okay, so I'm doing really basic sweet potatoes, just baking these. I rinse these real good. I prick them with a fork so they don't explode. And I'm putting them in the oven at 400 degrees until they're nice and tender. Usually what I like to do afterwards is peel them and saute them, mash them with some butter and a skillet, and it is just delectable. So I'm gonna get this going, and I'm also gonna work on my Brussels sprouts. Okay, so for my Brussels sprouts, first thing I need to do is cut off the ends, have them take off any leaves that are wilted or brown, and then I'm gonna rinse them in my colander. I like to include any loose leaves that are still good looking and fresh. in my roasting pan because those become extra crispy and they're really fun to eat after the Brussels sprouts are done cooking. Now that my Brussels sprouts are rinsed, I'm going to go ahead and add some chopped apple in. Lastly, I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on top of this, add some kosher salt, some cracked black pepper, and give it a stir. You can always skip the salt if you're watching how much sodium is in your diet. You can mix this up and then this will roast in the oven. I usually like to set it at 375 and I'll roast it between usually around 40 to 45 minutes, and I'll stir it halfway through and then it turns out really good. Okay, my roasted chicken just came out of the oven and it looks beautiful. The skin did split a little bit here. That's why it pulled back, but this will be just delicious. And then here's my sweet potatoes that I need to take the skin off and saute with a little bit of salted butter. And here's my Brussels sprouts with apples. Alright, here's how my plate is looking tonight. I did make homemade bread 2 nights ago, so I toasted a piece of that, put some butter spread on it, and have my Brussels sprouts with apples, some of my roasted chicken, and lastly some sauteed and mashed sweet potato. I was craving cinnamon rolls one day, so I woke up, I decided I was going to make some from scratch. I used my bread machine and they turned out really fluffy. I made a cream cheese frosting to go on top and they were really delicious. My family and I enjoyed these a whole lot. It was almost like Christmas in July. Alright, I totally forgot to film a couple of our dinners last week, so we're already back to Tuesday. Last weekend, let's see, it was Saturday. My husband and I ate out for dinner because we were on a date. We got some Middle Eastern food. I got kibbeh kebabs with pita bread and salad and rice. It was really good. And then the following day, we made homemade waffles, and I just forgot to film. So anyways, it's Tuesday again, and I am trying a new recipe. I am doing a skillet chicken with asparagus, and it's just sauteed in a pan, and it has a little bit of a balsamic vinegar, and it smells really good so far. And over here, my daughter, one of my daughters is making a nice treat for us. She's making homemade brownies, so that will be a really nice dessert for later. So here's my plate. I did end up putting the chicken and asparagus on top of my brown rice, so that's what I have there. Looks good. And here are the brownies that my daughter made. They're s'mores brownies, so they have homemade brownies on the bottom and then graham cracker, crushed graham cracker and marshmallows on top that was broiled. It's really something special when your kids start cooking and they either make you dinner, breakfast, lunch, or a special treat. Alright, so it's Tuesday again. I again forgot to film several nights last week of what we ate in a week for dinner. So I'm just gonna make a hodgepodge of what we ate for dinner over the course of several random days. We did go out of town again. We were in Wisconsin near the Dells. So that was a lot of fun, which was also part of the reason why I totally forgot to film. But tonight I did make pasta and I made homemade walnut meatballs, which is a recipe by Molly Yeh, and I really like it when I want something vegetarian, and also some broccoli. These meatballs are really good. They're made with toasted walnuts and shredded Parmesan cheese, breadcrumbs, eggs, I put fresh basil in there, cracked black pepper, and then you can add salt if you like, and fresh garlic cloves, and you just process it in a food processor and roll it into balls, and then you go ahead and saute it in a little bit of olive oil in a skillet, and they turn out really good. So there's that. Let me know if you want that recipe from Molly Yay. Okay, it's Wednesday and I remembered to record today, so I made baked chicken tenders. They're plain with just a little bit of salt and pepper. That's how my kids like them most. And then I have green beans and homemade mac and cheese. So this is how my plate's looking. I cut up my chicken. I got a little bit of each of the green beans and mac and cheese. And then over here I have 2 loaves of French bread that I'm going to bake. This is homemade. It's rising before I bake it. So this is the first time I'm trying this specific recipe. We'll see how it turns out. Okay, so here's how my homemade French bread turned out. I made 2 loaves. And I'll slice it up. Okay, so I'm going to try and wrap up this, what we eat in a week for dinner. It's probably been over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, but I feel like I probably have 7 meals by now. But tonight I'm going to make homemade broccoli cheese soup and some whole wheat dinner rolls using the bread machine to make the dough. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I have my bread machine here and I put all the ingredients in. It's got whole wheat flour, white flour, oats, of course there's yeast, honey, salt, 1 egg, and water. So I'll get that dough started and then I can start my soup. Okay, my dough finished mixing and rising, so I just shaped them into roll shapes and now they're going to rise for an hour before I bake them. They smell really good. Okay, I have my broccoli cheese soup started. I sauteed onions and garlic and made a roux base with milk, well of course with butter and flour, and then added milk and chicken broth. And then I added my broccoli and shredded carrots. After this is done cooking, that's when we'll add the cheese. Here's how the rolls turned out. They look amazing. And then here's the finished soup. I pureed maybe 2/3 of it and then added the cheese so it could melt. Now we're gonna dig in and eat.